Hello future coders, and welcome to another video on programming with Swift Playgrounds. Here we're going to learn about functions. What are functions? Well, every day you probably perform or do a variety of things automatically without thinking. But even a simple task like tying your shoe took time to learn. You had to learn it step by step first of all. For example, to tie your shoe, you looped, swooped, and pulled. So you performed 3 steps. In programming, a function allows you to combine all your steps together, give it a name, and then run it anytime you want. So 3 steps becomes like 1 step only. To define a function, you use func with a space and then you give it a name. Here it's tie my shoe. And then you always follow it with open and close brackets. And note the naming convention where the first letter of the function is lowercase, but the other letters are actually uppercase. And that's just the way that programmers type it out. Then inside the function, you give the commands or the task that you want to perform inside the curly braces. After you define or create your function, you can then call it very easily. Here it's tie my shoe, and then it'll run everything inside the function. So what are we waiting for? Let's give this a go. So in our first puzzle, what we're going to do is create or compose a new behavior. And our goal is to be able to turn right. In the past, you may have noticed that we didn't have a turn right command. So what did we need to do? Well, you can turn right by turning left 3 times. You don't believe me? Let's try it out. Let's go and enter our code. And then let's move forward. How many steps do you think? 1, 2, and 3 steps. That'll take us down 1, 2, 3 to the bottom. Then we need to turn right. But why don't we turn left 3 times? I'm going to copy, paste, and paste. And then I want to move forward 1, 2, 3 times again. So I can just select the above, go Command C, I'm on the keyboard. If you're on an iPad, you'll have to tap it 3 times, paste, and then let's go and collect our gem. And let's run our code and give this a go. There we go, moving forward. Now we're turning left, 1, 2, 3, move forward 3 steps, and then collecting our gem. Yippee, folks! We combine 3 left turns to let byte turn right, even though there's no command for it. And this is called composition. So let's move on to the next challenge. In this challenge, we're going to create a new function to turn right. So in the previous puzzle, we turned right only once, so using 3 left turns was not a big deal. But if you have to do it very often, it can make your code really long. So what we can do is put the left turns into a right turn function. So let's go ahead and create our function called turn right. And we'll go turn left, like so. And let's copy this and paste it 3 times. Now we can go ahead and use our turn right function to achieve our goal. What is our goal? Well, we need to toggle this switch on the far side because these 2 switches are already on. And you can tell because up above we've got 2 out of 3. So only one more switch to turn on. What do we need to do? Well, let's walk forward. Let's turn left, turn right down the stairs, and then jump into this portal to zap us all the way up to the top. Now, you might be thinking, well, can't we just walk forward 2 times and then fall off the cliff? Well, let's see if we can. I'll go move forward, and then I'll go move forward, and then let's run the code and see what happens. Here we go, moving forward and trying to move forward, but no, bike can't go off the cliff. Sorry, we're gonna have to go the long way. So let's delete the last move forward and let's turn left here. And then we want to move forward again. Let me copy this command. And from here, we want to turn right. So let's use the turn right command. And then what's next? You guessed it, move forward. Moving forward takes us down to the switch, which is already on. So we need to turn right one more time. So let's turn right. And let's give this a go. Now, what I want to do is show you how you can step through the code. If you click on this here, you'll see an arrow telling you where you are. Turn left, move forward, turn right, jumping into the top function, turning left 3 times, moving forward, and then turning right again at the top. Look at that. Stepping through the code like this helps you understand what's happening, and it's also really great for debugging or trying to find problems. So what do we do next? You can probably guess that we need to move forward and jump into the portal to be transported to the far portal location. So let's run through this one more time at normal speed. Turning right this time with 3 left turns in our function, going down, turning right again, moving forward, and going into the new location. Now what do we need to do? Well, we need to turn right, move forward, and then turn left, move forward, and then toggle the switch. So let's give this a go. Turn right, move forward, turn left, move forward, and then toggle the switch. Let's run our code. Here we go. Moving forward, turning right in our function, going down the steps, turning right again, getting transported in the portal, turning right, moving forward, turn left, and toggle the switch. Yippee, folks! Great work! We just wrote our very first function. So remember, to create a new function, give it a name, define or say what you want it to do, and then use the name to call the function out. Let's move on to our next puzzle. Now this puzzle is called collect, toggle and repeat, where we want to go ahead and collect the gem and then toggle the switch, which are right next to each other. So there's a pattern that you should be able to see, and we can put this pattern inside a function. The best place to start is to write the code as you normally would. So let's go and say move forward, and then we'll collect the gem, and then we'll move forward and toggle the switch. And then we need to move forward one more time. Let's test this out first by running our code. You'll notice that we've got an error at the top. This red dot means an error or a problem, and that's because we don't have a name for our function. So let's call this my function. It can be anything you want really, just to get rid of the error. Now try to run your code again. Here we go. Moving forward, collecting the gem, toggle the switch, and then move forward. Great work. Now, if you noticed, we need to turn left one more time, and then we actually need to repeat what we just did. So let's go and turn left. And if I copy all these commands, Command C, paste, let's step through our code one more time. Here we go. Let's click the gem, toggle the switch, move forward, turn left, move forward, and repeating the very first steps that we did. So, because we are repeating ourselves, why don't we take all these commands and put it into a function? So let me select this and go cut, and we'll paste it inside our function, and we'll rename our function to something more useful and clear, such as collect gem and toggle switch, like that. And because we've created a function, we need to call it. So let's go collect gem and toggle switch. There we go. Now remember, these commands down here, this is exactly the same as our function. So we can delete this and then call our function again. And you see now the code becomes a lot more simple and readable. So let's now give this a go and step through our code to make sure that it works. We're jumping into our function, moving forward, collecting the gem, moving forward, toggle the switch, move forward. We jump out of our function to turn left, and then we jump back into our function to repeat the process. Great work. Now you can probably guess what we need to do next. We need to move forward and then turn left and then run our function again. So let's this time move forward, we'll turn left, and then let's call our function. I'm going to copy this and then paste it here. Let's run through our code normally this time. Here we go. You can imagine we're in our function. Now we're going to turn left over here. Then we go back into our function. And now we need to move forward, turn left, and then run our function again. Now you can probably see what the next step is going to be, and that is to turn left and collect our gem and toggle our switch once more. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in, and now let's run our code. Let's run it faster. Here we go. Super speed. Collecting the gem, toggling the switch, turning, running our function again. And then the last part. There we go. Congratulations! You managed to complete the task with a function. So remember, functions allow us to simplify or make easier complicated steps. Let's jump on to our next puzzle. Okay, this puzzle is called Across the Board, where we want to identify a repeating pattern and then use a function to make our job easier. Here, there are lots of gems to collect, so there's actually more than one way to solve this puzzle. You can see here we can collect the gem, move forward, collect, move forward, collect, then turn right, move forward and collect, move forward and collect, and basically collect along the outside, and then the final step would be collecting the center gem. But there's a better way to do this. So let's first of all, again, we'll start by typing out our normal moves. What I do want to point out is that if you look at the bottom, now we actually have a turn right function that we can use. We don't have to create it ourselves anymore because it's been given to us. So just remember that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to collect the gem, then I'm going to move forward. Let's copy this. Then I'm going to collect the gem and move forward, and then I'll collect the gem. Let's see how this works. Remember, we need to fill in this here, otherwise we'll get an error. So let's put just some random words in here, like my function, and let's run the code. Collect the gem, move forward, collect the gem, move forward, and collect the gem. Now, let's go ahead, and you can guess that we need to turn right and move forward. And let's run our code one more time. Collecting the gem and moving forward a few times, turning right and moving forward. Now, here's the question. We can collect the gem and then continue to move forward and collect the gem. But a better way is to actually go and turn right one more time and then repeat the first steps that we created. So let's go and turn right one more time, and then we can copy all of this. Just copy and paste it down below. Collect the gem, move forward, collect the gem, etc. So let's run the code one more time. Collecting the gems, as we know how to do. Now we want to turn right, move forward, turn right again. And then now we're just repeating the same steps. So this is the secret. Because we are repeating the steps, we can copy this out. Let's cut it and then paste it in our function. Let's call our function a nice name called collect 3 gems. And then now let's call collect 3 gems. And remember, let me copy this, Command C. I can then delete all of this and then paste it here as well. Now, you can see I've got a red circle, or 2 actually. Can you guess why? Well, remember that functions need to have the open and close bracket. So let's type this in and get rid of the error. And there we go. So now let's run this again, but we want to step through the code. Here we go, jumping into our function, collecting the gem, moving forward. Again, jumping out of the function, turning right, moving forward, turning right. And then we're jumping back into our function. Look at that. Now, I've completed 2 rows for you. Why don't you give the 3rd row a try? So pause the video here and do that, and then come back to check your answers. Okay, hopefully you've completed the puzzle. If not, watch what needs to be done next. We actually want to turn left this time. Then we want to move forward, and then turn left again. And then let's call our function, collecting 3 gems. Let's run through the code a little faster this time. Collecting the gems, moving forward, turning around, collecting the gems again. And look at that. Great work, fellow coders. You wrote your own function and you managed to solve the puzzle. So with functions, you can group commands together and call the functions to run everything together, making the code much more readable and understandable. Let's move on to our next challenge. Okay, why don't we click on our character Byte and change Byte to maybe this alien ET, or it might even be a grasshopper, just to make things a bit more interesting. Okay, in this puzzle, we want to learn about nesting patterns. So up until now, we've created a function and only called existing commands, such as moving forward or collecting gems. But you can actually create as many functions as you want. For example, we can have a function here called turn around, and this allows us to turn left 2 times. We can also have another function called solve stairs, and we can define this or make it do whatever we want. So let's take a look at what our challenge is. We need to collect 4 gems. So we need to move forward, collect the gem, turn around, and come back home. So let's go ahead and see what needs to be done. And if you're not sure, you can always click on the hint button in the bottom right hand corner. Here it says first, define your solve stair function to walk up a stairway, collect a gem, turn around and move back to the center. So let's do that. Our solve stair means we have to go and move forward, as you can see. Then we need to collect the gem. And then what do? Well, we've got to turn around. So I could type in turn left and then turn left, but you can probably see that we've got 2 turn lefts in a function called turn around at the top. Why don't I delete this and just use the function turn around? What are we doing here? Well, inside solve stairs, we jumped into this function, we run move forward, collect gem, and then we call another function. So the code jumps to the top, turns left 2 times, comes down to solve stairs, and then comes back to the main area. So let's debug our code. We'll step through it and check out what it does. Here we go, moving up top, moving forward, collect the gem, turning around, it jumps to the top, we spin around 2 times, and there we have it. Let me zoom out a bit here, because our character is quite tall. Now, what we want to do, after we've solved the stairs, is we want to move forward 2 times back to the center. So let's step through our code one more time. Here we go. Up in our first function, collecting the gem, turning around. The second function, and we jump back into the main body and then move forward. Well, we only needed to move forward one more time, so let me delete the second one. But you can see what's happened when we did 2 more times. We've moved ourselves to the next stairs, which is good, but we want to go back to the center. So let's run this code faster to reset everything. There we go. Now, there's a trick in the second step. What do we want to do now? Do we want to keep going forward to collect the gem, or do we want to turn left or right? Well, it doesn't really matter. So let's go and in our next step, let's call the function solve stair again. And let's run this and see what happens. We'll run it a little bit faster, not the fastest, but just a little bit faster, and you'll see what's happening. Collecting the gem, turning around, collecting the gem, and then turning around. And then we need to move forward one more time to get back to the center. So let's run this fastest to get us back to the center. There we go. Now you can probably guess that we need to turn a left in order to collect the remaining gems. So let's turn left, And from here, we need to solve the stairs and then move forward. So let's copy this in. And then copy it one more time to collect all the gems. So let's step through the code and see what's happening. We're going into our first function to solve the stairs, collecting the gem, turning around, up above, and then jump back down, moving forward. Let's jump into the solve stair function again to collect the other gem on the other side. We're going to turn around, move forward, turn left, back into our function. So you can see this pattern repeat. And then the last gem, let's go and collect this, and then return back to the center. There we go, well done again. What we did is we broke a large problem into smaller, more manageable pieces. And this process is called decomposition or breaking down. We combined two functions to solve a bigger problem. Now, before going to the next page, let me go ahead and close this, because you may be thinking, well, why can't I move forward inside my function? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 move forwards. Well, congratulations, you can. Let me cut this and then put it inside our solve stair function. And then I'm going to delete move forward here, and then I'll delete move forward here, and also the very last one as well. This makes our code much smaller and more efficient, and it's called optimizing. So let's go ahead and step through the code. So we move forward, click the gem, turn around by turning left 2 times, and then we move forward inside our solve stair function. We go back to solve stairs, collect it, turn around, and then we turn left and then repeat the process. And it's really neat and helpful to be able to follow the code. Turn left and jump back down. And there we have it. We solved the problem by being more efficient and using less code. Congratulations, folks. Let's go on to the next page. In this next puzzle, it's called slotted stairways. And we want to decompose or break down this puzzle into more than one function, just like before. Because as we learned, we can accomplish or complete a big task by breaking it down. Here, we want to go and move forward and collect the gem and then come back, and then move forward and collect the gem and come back again. So let's read what the current code does. First of all, we solve the row. So we jump up here, and then we go and collect gem and turn around. So here you can see we move forward 2 times, collect the gem, we turn left 2 times, and then come back down to where we started. So let's see how this code works by stepping through it. Let's go and collect the gem, move forward 2 times, collecting, turning left, moving forward back down to where we started. So what do you think we need to do next? Why don't we just go and type solve row? Because when we do that, we're going to basically move forward, click the gem down the stairs here. So let's step through our code one more time. Here we go. Moving forward, collecting the gem, and then coming back down. And then we repeat the process by moving forward, collecting the gem, and then coming back. Okay, what's our next step? Well, we need to complete the next step on our next row. So let's go ahead and turn right. We then move forward, and then let's turn left, allowing us to repeat the process. But let's check this first. So we want to solve the row by collecting the gem and turning around. Let's come back down, and then we want to solve this second row down here by calling the function again. Now's the tricky part. We want to move to this next row here by turning right, moving forward, turning left. And now we're all set up to repeat the process. So as a shortcut, let me copy these two solve rows down below. And let's run the code a little faster this time. Here we go, collecting it, collecting the other gem, turning right, going to the second row, and doing the same thing. Now, you can probably guess that we need to do the same for the last row. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So let's go ahead and run this a little faster to see how it works. Here we go, collecting the rows, collecting the gems in the second row, and then we're going to come down, go to our third row, and collect those gems as well. Perfect work, fellow coders. You seem to really be getting this, because by using decomposition or breaking down a large problem into smaller problems, you can make your code a lot more readable and reusable. Let's jump on to the next page where this is our last challenge. You can see here, we're at the treasure hunt challenge. Now what we're going to do is again decompose our patterns to create our own function this time. So this is going to be a little tricky, where if I click on enter our code, we've got nothing here. So what do we need to do? Byte needs to move forward 1-2 steps, toggle the switch, and then turn around and go back to the center. So you can see our example function here. We've got function move then toggle. And inside this function, we've got move forward. We do that 2 times, and then we toggle the switch. So let's first give this a go by calling our function by typing move then toggle. But remember, this is only going to turn on the switch. We need to get byte back to the center. So to do this, we can go turn left 2 times, and then we'll go move forward 2 times. Let's try this out. We'll step through the code as always. Here we go. Moving forward, toggle the switch, turn left, and then move forward, back down. There should be a few things that come to mind here. We could actually take these steps here and break it up into more functions. Why don't we have a function called function turn around, like so. Remember that function? Let's take the two turn lefts, we'll cut this and paste it in here. And then we can have another function called move forward 2 steps, like so. And then I'll copy this back into the function. Now, what I can do is I can move then toggle, I can then call my turn around function, and then I can call my move forward 2 steps function. Look at all of that. Let's step through the code and see how this works. We're going to jump into the first function, move and toggle. So we toggle the switch. We call our second function called turn around. Then we call our third function, which is to move forward 2 steps back home. Now, let's go and toggle the switch on the other side by repeating this function. I'll do a copy, a paste, and then let's run through this a little quicker this time. Here we go, toggle the switch, turn around, go home, and the same on the other side. Perfect. Now, the challenge is, what do we do next? How do we go and toggle these 4 other switches? Well, the first thing to do is to turn left or right. I'll turn left. Then we want to go and move then toggle. We'll call the function move then toggle, which will move forward 2 steps, toggle the switch. But instead of turning around and going home, let's call the function again, because we want to move forward 2 times and then toggle the second switch. So let's copy this and paste it again. And let's run it to test it. Toggle the first switch, go back, toggle the second switch, go back, and now we turn left, toggle this switch, and continue to toggle the other switch. Now we want to turn around. So let's call turn around, and we actually want to move forward 2 steps 2 times, but we can get creative and create another function called move forward 4 steps. And then in here, let's copy and paste this 4 times. Down the bottom, we can then call move forward how many steps? Not 2, but 4 to get us back to the center. So let's run this again and give it a test. Now it's always useful to keep testing just in case something goes wrong. But I'm sure that you're all super smart and you've got this all perfectly coded. There we go. So the last piece of the puzzle is just to repeat what we just did on the other side. So why don't we just copy this as a shortcut and then let's run it again. Because remember, we don't have to turn around. The second switch here, let's go back. The third one, continue forward, turn around, move forward 4 steps, and then let's continue the other side. Piece of cake. If you managed to complete this, then congratulations. Amazing work. You're totally on your way to solving more complicated problems, and building an application is just a matter of finding solutions to lots and lots of small problems. Congratulations on completing this chapter here on functions. Tune into our next video talking about looping. Catch you later.